stamp stole $10,311 from out of my bank account. What in the hell? Collections went to the state. They put in an order to have your check garnished and paid in full. Never reported that you had started a new job and included your income. You receive an overpayment letter from the SNAP benefits office saying that you have to pay this balance back. You ignore it, and the overpayment balance is sent to the state for collection. This is how we got into the actual garnishment. So the SNAP benefits office didn't actually take the money out of your account. It was the state that withdrew the funds out of your account because you never paid them. Collection agency sends letter after letter for you to go ahead and pay them. Unfortunately, you don't respond. You don't set up a payment plan. Collection agency is over your foolishness. They put in the request to have your account garnished as well as to see if your pay can be garnished. Just decides there can be a garnishment for the account. Collection agency for the SNAP benefits provides us with the order. The funds are withdrawn out of the account and paid to your balance. You call talking about where is my money? Where is my money? I'm letting you know there's a garnishment for SNAP benefits due to an overpayment, and you're sitting here talking about what do you mean? I set up a payment plan with them. I'm letting you know there's nothing that I can do. I let you know there was a court order, the court date, who signed off for it, the judge. I can send you a copy, but I cannot provide you with your money back. So I go into the it's fraud, but unfortunately it's not fraud. I'll provide you with the number and I'll provide you with the contact person, but this is all that I can do at this point. You can't fraud your whole life for a short period of time, okay? Years, baby,
Story time about how I got caught lying on my food stamp application while doing a face full of new makeup. All right, y'all, let's get down to business. I have to tell y'all this story because it's so funny now that it's over. So the year is 2020. Everybody is at their peak scamming position. I'm talking PPP loans. I'm talking about stimulus checks. I'm talking about food stamps. So I said to myself said, I said, you need some food stamps too, boo. Go get you some. So I moseyed on down to the SNAP website. It was my time to shine. I'll go ahead on and fill out the application. It's myself, 3 kids. But there was an important piece that I've left out. I forgot to tell them about my man. Child, I done told them people my kids ain't got no daddy. That's the thing about social services. They always want to know your business. You got money in your account? Do you own a car? Do your kids have a father? Child, that lady called asking all them questions. I almost wanted to body slam her. Stay out my business. Anywho, fast forward, we get approved. And I'm talking approved. Now, by this point, I quit my job. This is when COVID started to really affect our family. Daycare providers was getting COVID. Co-workers was getting COVID. It was just COVID out over here. So I said, oh, no. That ain't even about to fly. Not with my babies. Keep in mind, not only did I have a 6-year-old, but I had twin 4-month-olds. No. So everything's going well for a while. I'm getting my little money every month. They're giving me about $700, okay? And I wasn't playing about my little sev. I was at the grocery store promptly, 8 a.m. every night of the month. So about 5 months go by, then I go back to work. Here's where everything falls apart. So one day I'm getting ready for work. I got my kids out the door. They at daycare. I'm just getting ready for work, listening to gospel music like the beautiful, holy, saved woman I am. I hear a knock at the door. This is odd because who knocks on somebody's door at 9 a.m. in the morning? I don't answer doors because I have anxiety, so my husband got it, which is normal. It's his house. I hear him say, babe. So I'm like, what could anyone want with me? I go to the door, and for the sake of this video, we're going to say her name was Jessica Rubenstein. She says, my name is Jessica Rubenstein from the county fraud department. My heart was in my ass. I'm like, yes, Miss Rubenstein, whatever could you want? So she's like, so you put on your application that you're a single mother, but we see here that you're married. Married? Well, whoever told you that? Like it ain't public record. I said, ma'am, somebody done told you wrong. Y'all, this lady pulled out a whole file on me. You'd think I would give up, but no, I'm determined. She said, well, who was that guy that just answered the door? I said, that's my brother, Jonathan. Jonathan? Really? She said, oh, really? Because he looks a lot like the guy in your profile picture. She done sat in my face and told me my own husband's name. And I still tried to lie. So at some point, she's just like, all right, let's cut the crap. I know you're married. I know that's your husband. Do you want me to look around? Like, I know this is your man. He's like, the more you lie, the less I can help you. Whatever. Okay, fine. You caught me. What's up? So she's like, of course I have to share my findings. Of course you're going to be off of food stamps. Of course you're going to be done with daycare. Because you lied. And that's what happens when you lie. So I'm like, you mean I have to use my own money? She goes back to the office. Of course, she shares her findings with her boss as she's supposed to. And of course, I get cut off. Now I have a bill. So fast forward to 2023. So far, I ain't pay on the bill at all. I was just letting it rock out. You know what I mean? Because clearly I didn't have the money if I had to take it from you. But when you owe somebody, they gonna get their money. And how do they get their money? My taxes. When I say them people got their revenge on me, they got it. Over $2,000 of my tax return. Gone. Did they take it? You know they did. You know they got their money. I'm glad they took it though, because I don't like sitting around owing nobody. Take your money and go. Leave me alone. But get this. I randomly received 2 PEBT cards totaling over $3,000. They're in my children's names, of course. I'm not doing no more fraud. I got those cards and told my kids to put their shoes on immediately. We had business to take care of. Basically, I said all of this to say, don't be like me. Be smart. Don't lie to them people, because applying for these resources is like inviting them into your business. And they will absolutely do a thorough search. But I don't gotta do that no more. I'm up now. Toodaloo.
So these came today. These. And I'm going to try to hold this together because I've been crying. My husband has been struggling and suffering since before Thanksgiving with his back. We've been to the ER, we've had MRIs, and we pay $300 a week. I'm not making that up. $300 a week to United Healthcare. And this is how much we owe. And he still has not had back injections. He hasn't had surgery. That's for an ER trip. It's for an ER trip. And this is for an MRI. I called the insurance company. They said that $2,265 is my portion after I've already paid $300, which is what my copay is. Because the insurance room, Piedmont, charges more than their allowed amount. They only allowed $1,700. And the $500 is our portion of our deductible for the MRI. $300 a week for what? For what? I don't understand. And you can feel however you want to feel about the insurance companies, but we work hard. Like, we bust our ass. We both have full-time jobs. I'm trying to do a side hustle here on the TikTok shop. My husband works side work, and he has ruptured his disc, and he's not fat. If somebody else comments that my husband is fucking fat, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. He has degenerative disc disease. He's already had 2 neck fusions. They've had to go in and cut his throat twice. He's fused from here, his C2 to his C4, then his C5 to his C7. And he's already ruptured 1 on the right. Now he's got 3 ruptured on the left, and it's going to be his life. We are hardworking people, and we pay all of our bills, and we never have a fucking dime left at the end of the month. I am not rich. I am not rich. And now at Christmas, I don't know, add on to the fact that we got hit by a hurricane. I just can't. I am at my fucking end. I don't know how anybody in America is making it, but I pissed somebody off years and years ago because when I came back to this earth, I guess I was born under a bad sign. I don't know, but my luck sucks. I wish I knew what it was like to wake up and not have to worry. I wonder what that feels like. Because I surely don't know.
It is almost midnight and we just got home from the emergency room with our daughter. Now, we never made it out of the waiting room. For the past 3 nights, she's been having a lot of stomach pains. Just hits at night, but tonight it got really bad. She was freaking out. She was crying. She made herself throw up. I tell my husband, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid that something is wrong. So naturally, we decide the only place we can go is the emergency room. So at 9 o'clock tonight, we bundle our daughter up. We drive 20 minutes into town to take her to the hospital. We get checked in. They spend 5 minutes with her. They take her weight, they take her height, they take her vitals, and they send us into the waiting room where we wait for an hour. So as this hour ticks by, our daughter perks right up. She's completely normal. She's fine. She's laughing. She's giggling. She's playing. And my husband and I are sitting there like, this is what happened the last 2 nights. Like, she was miserable for an hour and then she was totally fine. It just got like really extreme tonight. We're like, what do we do? You know, should we just go home? We've been waiting for a long time. There's a lot of people ahead of us. Why don't I'm like, I'm just going to go check with the girl, see what we need to do. We can take her to either the urgent care or try to get in with our PCP in the morning because this child is fine now. I knock on the door and I tell the girl, I said, she's fine. She's perked right up. She's better. What we'd really like to do is just take her home, and in the morning I'm going to take her into either the urgent care in our town or try to get in with our primary care physician. And I'm trying to do it the right way. So I say, do I need to sign an AMA form, against medical advice form, saying that we're leaving? What do we need to do? Because, you know, if you just get up and walk out, you never know how shady people are going to be, and you hear these crazy stories that they like call CPS or something. So I wanted to do it the right way. She goes, give me just a minute. Let me go check and I'll come out and talk to you. So we waited for like another 15 minutes and she comes out. She said, I didn't forget about you. I've just been chatting with the doctor. It'll just be another few minutes and I'll give you an answer. A doctor walks out. He was very nice, so kind, absolutely loved him. He sat down with us in the waiting room and he was asking Ellery questions, pushing on her belly because we're like, is she constipated? Is it her appendix? Does she have a UTI? Like, what's going on? We were leaning toward constipation, but the way she was acting tonight seemed more extreme that mom panic set in. And I'm like, is her appendix going to rupture? So he like pokes around on her belly and he's like, it's not distended or anything. What I think you should do is give her some Miralax, watch her for a couple days, and then if you need to, get her in with her primary care physician. He's like, I don't see any reason to take you guys back in a room. I'm not going to do x-rays. We're not going to do any tests. Just do the Miralax. Awesome. Thank you so much. We can go home now. So he says, just wait a couple of minutes. They're going to give you some paperwork and then you're free to go. They take us into one more room. We spend 5 minutes in there, maybe 1 minute with the tech. He took her vitals again. The girl came and got our insurance information. And then she comes back and says, I see you're registered for my chart. You'll see the bill pop up in the next day or so. It is hefty. It's going to be $2,460. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't say any of this to her. It's not her fault. She was doing her job. She was so professional, so nice. I just said, okay. But between you and I, are you fucking kidding me? A couple things pissed me off here. I went to that girl and I was trying to do the right thing by saying, hey, we want to take our daughter home. Do we need to sign an AMA form? She then finds a doctor, Intermountain Health, finds a doctor to come out and talk to us because if a patient leaves, they can't bill them, right? So I'm really pissed about that because I said we wanted to leave. They usher in a doctor and then they slap us with a giant fucking bill. Other thing that pisses me off. How was that a $2,500 visit? We expected some sort of charge, and we were happy to pay that, knowing that we were going to leave. And when we met with the physician, his physician fee, we were expecting $300 to $500. My husband and I were talking about it. We're thinking like, yeah, they're going to charge us for something because we still talk to the doctor or whatever. That's fine. I cannot wait to get the itemized bill to see how this turned into this 8 minutes of FaceTime with techs and doctors. Never going into a room, never being seen, never even been under observation. How was that $2,500? Intermountain Health? How does that work? And how different would that have been if we hadn't had insurance? What would the bill look like then? And it's also very funny that it is almost to the dollar the amount left on our daughter's portion of her individual deductible. I want answers. Follow along. We're going to get the itemized receipt. We're going to fight it with the hospital. We're going to fight it with the insurance company. There is no way in hell that I am paying $2,500 for that bullshit excuse and the fact that I said we wanted to leave and they rushed in a doctor so they could charge us.